Coming up on Mountain News this morning, the first of two disaster recovery action plan meetings was hosted last night in an effort to hear from the community. And a lawsuit has been filed in the Rockcastle County train derailment after claiming to be exposed to toxic gas.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Olivia Calfee. We are coming up on 6 a.m. on November 30th. Now let's check in with meteorologist Cameron Aaron for a look at your forecast this morning. And Cameron, we are seeing a chilly start to the morning out there, but hopefully it'll warm up. I don't know if warm's a fair statement, but it'll feel a little better.
Yeah, for late November standards, we are warm out there, upper 50s this afternoon. But Olivia, it's insane. It's the last day of November. December starts tomorrow, so that means Christmas season's already underway. It's just insane. But yeah, it feels like the Christmas season across the mountains this morning. We are chilly. Those temperatures for most of us in the 30s, but some of us are below freezing at this hour. Here's a live look across the mountains from London to Hazard to Pikeville. And again, we are dry under a clear sky. That temperature down to 28 over in London, 37 for Hazard, also Pikeville this morning. So some frost is possible in some areas. You may need some extra time to defrost the car on your Thursday morning commute. We are tracking this area of high pressure once again on Friday. Some more dry weather is on the way, but those rain chances are not too far off as we see some showers by late tonight, also into your Friday. But on Thursday, more dry weather is on the way. Those temperatures top out above average in the middle to upper 50s, so not too bad on Thursday. But again, those rain chances are right around the corner as we see some more showers. Also breezy weather on Friday, and then maybe a few more spotty rain chances for this weekend. Also into early next week as a more busy weather pattern is on tap. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Cameron, thank you. Officers were recognized for their efforts in getting impaired drivers off Kentucky roadways during the 2023 Governor's Impaired Driving Enforcement Award ceremony in Lexington. So far this year, state officials tell us there have been 117 deadly accidents on Kentucky roads related to impaired drivers. Garrett Weimer spoke to a London police officer who has encountered DUI drivers throughout his career, but now he's one of the victims.
Inside the Hyatt Regency, the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety recognized about 150 police officers from across the Commonwealth for their hard work arresting and removing impaired drivers from the roadways. Officer Colby Patterson from the Barberville Police Department in Knox County was one of the officers awarded. Patterson tells us last fiscal year he made 134 DUI arrests. That's more than 2 a week.
Really, I just doing my job. You know, that's something that I'm passionate about, is getting impaired drivers off the roadways.
London police officer Logan Medlock had that same passion. On October 30th, 2022, around 12:45 a.m., Officer Medlock was on Main Street in London looking for impaired drivers.
45 seconds later, he was struck by a drunk driver in the driver's door. He ran a red light, hit in the driver's door, and my son passed away on scene.
Major Randy Medlock is also with the London Police Department. In his 19-year career, he has seen his share of DUI-related wrecks.
Absolutely, I've seen cars destroyed. You couldn't even tell what kind of vehicle they were. I mean, it's just a drunk driver or an impaired driver has no reaction. You might as well be driving down the road blindfolded.
But that crash that took his 26-year-old son now makes Major Medlock and his family one of the many victims of impaired driving.
My family lives October 30th, 2022 every day.
But on this day, Major Medlock just wants to thank these officers in the room for what they do every day, getting those impaired drivers off of Kentucky's roads.
And I commend them to have the will and the desire to do this, because they are ultimately saving lives, and they are all heroes.
In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
Investigators say Casey Bird hit and killed Officer Logan Medlock. They say Bird's blood alcohol level was more than 3 times the legal limit at the time of the crash. State officials tell us during the fiscal year of 2023, there were more than 3,000 DUI arrests. Yesterday, the first of two disaster recovery action plan town hall meetings were hosted in Hazard. Community members got the opportunity to voice their thoughts on where the nearly $300 million allocated to our communities impacted by the July flood should go. The funding is from the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development in Community Development Block Grants. Housing Development Alliance Executive Director Scott McReynolds says these meetings are important.
The Department of Local Government as the administrator and HUD as the agency that oversees it actually are required by law to take into account the public comment. So it's just really important for people to speak up and let the two agencies know what the need is, where the money is going to be best spent, and then how the money gets spent.
If you missed the meeting in Hazard yesterday, there is another one today at 5:30 at the Big Sandy Area Development District in Prestonsburg. A Zoom option is also available. We have more information on that on our website. Two Rockcastle County residents have filed a class action lawsuit against CSX. It comes after a train derailed near Livingston, sparking a chemical fire which burned for nearly 24 hours. Jeremy Tom spoke with an attorney representing these plaintiffs about the allegations and what they're seeking from CSX in return.
When you are transporting extremely dangerous material like they were, you have to take extra precaution.
CSX says a wheel bearing failed on the train which came into Livingston last week amid a 23-mile stretch with no hot bearing detectors.
These trains put a lot of miles on these wheels. We can't inspect the train that's coming into our neighborhood. We trust them to do it.
The lawsuit claims that the rail company initially told first responders there was nothing to worry about, that the cars were carrying food-grade substances.
You give those assurances of you're still safe where you're at. People delay their trip out of town.
All the while, it was molten sulfur which spilled out, burned, and sent toxic fumes into the air.
This is a highly dangerous chemical to be breathing in.
Attorney Josh Autry's clients are seeking damages for impacts to their property, their current health conditions, and the increased risk of future illness.
If you've inhaled a poisonous gas, your doctor is gonna schedule medical testing for you. That should not have to come out of their pockets. It should come out of CSX's.
CSX released a statement saying these incidents are rare, but Autry says more needs to be done.
Rare isn't rare enough. It needs to be non-existent, right? We don't want the occasional toxic spill. We want zero toxic spills.
That was Jeremy Toms reporting. CSX said in their statement that they are reviewing the allegations, adding that when something like this happens, they prioritize safety and recovery in the community. Attorney General Daniel Cameron announced a nearly $1.5 million settlement with State Farm. The agreement settles allegations that State Farm failed to adequately identify and disclose to some Kentucky customers uninsured and underinsured coverages available under their policies. In addition to the money, State Farm has strengthened its notification policies, trained staff, and implemented a database search tool.
Well, as a cold start to this last morning of November, most of us waking up near or below freezing, and some of us above freezing at this hour. Down to 37 for Pikeville, also Hazard, 24 in Manchester, and 27 over in Harlan. So we are cold, but not as cold as Tuesday night as you wake up on this Thursday morning. Those temperatures are near or just above freezing in some areas. Up on the radar, we are dry, also mainly clear as high pressure also continues to dominate the forecast. Some more dry weather is on tap on Thursday. We see some sunshine. Those temperatures also rebounding. So after a very cold morning, we see highs back above average. We should be in the lower 50s. We top out in the middle 50s on Thursday, but be sure to soak up the sunshine, also the mild weather, because we see some soggy, also breezy weather as we close out the work week. Timing out those rain chances in just a few minutes. Olivia?
Thank you, Cameron, and thanks for joining Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, Congressman George Santos could be expelled from the House after some of his own party members turned against him.